fact, yesterday, gold had its biggest one-day price increase, dollar-wise, in history. At one point, I think it was up $114. I think it closed up about $109. Now, I've been in the investment business for over 30 years. I've never seen the price of gold rise by $100 in one day. I've now seen it 3 times. The big story of the week continues to be the relentless rise of the price of gold, hitting new record high after another. We just finished this holiday shortened week, and tomorrow is Good Friday, and so this Sunday is Easter. I got my Sundays mixed up on the last podcast, but gold managed to rise 2.7% this 4-day week. Gold yesterday hit a new record high above 3,360. We closed the week, I think, at 3,330. That is a huge move. In fact, yesterday, gold had its biggest one-day price increase, dollar-wise, in history. At one point, I think it was up $114. I think it closed up about $109. Now, I've been in the investment business for over 30 years. I've never seen the price of gold rise by $100 in one day. I've now seen it 3 times, although it didn't always close that high, but 3 times since Liberation Day. So we really liberated gold on Liberation Day, but this is a big deal to see gold moving up like this. And, I was forecasting years ago that one day we would see gold moving in much bigger increments. Now, I know as the price of gold gets higher and higher, when you're talking about $3,000 gold, $100 is not what it used to be. When gold was $300, $400, $500, right? If it moved 100, it would be much bigger. But, I think we're going to see days where gold's up 200, 300. I mean, those days are coming. But, what's more significant even, than the increase in the price of gold is the fact that nobody cares. I'm up early, and this show Squawk Box comes on, and it starts at 6 a.m. New York time. So it goes 6 to 9. And so I get up, and the price of gold is up $100 an ounce, or 90 at that. Maybe it was only 90 at that time. And I'm like, God, I got to, this is a new record high. We're above 3,300 and I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, this should be the lead story, right? I mean, you're supposedly this financial news channel. You're going to be bringing your audience the big financial news of the morning. And you got gold up almost $100. You would think that this should be the first thing that they talk about because, this is not just some commodity, some random commodity. This is gold. Gold is special in the world of finance, right? Gold is the canary in the economic coal mine, and it's even yellow, right? So you're supposed to pay attention to gold. And so I'm watching in bed, and I don't want to wake my wife up, so I've just got the earpiece in, and I'm watching it, and the whole hour goes by, and they don't mention gold once, not once. Now, yeah, there's a ticker on the bottom that's, going by, gold hits a record high. But the on-air anchors who are talking about all kinds of stuff that they feel is important, they don't mention gold once. Now, they actually mentioned Bitcoin. They didn't dwell on it. They said, hey, let's check Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin's flat. They didn't bother to check gold, which was anything but flat, which maybe is why they didn't want to mention it. They don't want to call attention to the fact that gold is way up and Bitcoin's not, right? Because they're trying to get their audience to buy Bitcoin because they're telling them it's digital gold. So they don't really want the audience to know. So anyway, I post on X, hey, I watched for this whole hour and they haven't even said anything on Squawk Box. And I tag, Joe Kernan. Now it's his show. Then the second hour goes by. They don't mention it again. We're 2 hours into a 3-hour show. Now gold's above, it's up more than $100 an ounce. It's gone up more. So gold's up more than 100, something that rarely happens. The big financial news of the morning. And the whole second hour goes by. Not one mention of the price of gold. So then in the commercial, I posted up there again. I tagged Joe Kernan. I can't believe these guys they're still not mentioning gold. Right. So then the very first thing they talk about at the beginning of the third hour is gold. And I know they're only talking about it because I goaded them into it. Because the first thing that Joe Kernan says is, well, there's people out there, gloating now, doing victory laps about gold. Right. So he's talking about me. Right. It's not that there's some random people out there. There's just me because I'm posted on X and I'm tagging the guy. And, I'm getting, I have a lot of followers on X. So, but now I'm not making this stuff up. So they start talking about gold being up. And so there's a woman, it's not just Joe Kernan. There's a woman up there. I don't know her name. I don't want to insult her. I just don't know her name. Right. But anyway, so she makes an observation. She says, yeah, gold's really going up. It's kind of acting like a meme coin these days. A meme coin? She thinks gold is a meme coin. I mean, that shows you how little she knows about meme coins and gold. But so she really believes, and this is the on-air expert, right? The anchor, right? She's not a guest. She's a regular paid correspondent that just is there, right? And she thinks that foreign central bankers, right? These, smart guys, older, seasoned people that are working at these central banks and these other sophisticated investors around the world who are buying gold, they're the same as kids buying fart coin. I mean, she thinks there's no difference between gold and fart coin. There's night and day. This is a significant move. But rather than saying, hey, gold's really going up, I mean, should we be concerned? What warning is gold giving us? She says, well, it must be like fart coin. It's acting like a meme coin. It's just going up. Meme coins go way up because there's very little liquidity. There's massive liquidity in the gold market. When you move gold $100 an ounce, that takes real money. I mean, you can move fart coin with a tweet or a post, and just a little bit of money. There is no comparison. So why is she even comparing Bitcoin? I mean, gold to a meme coin? Because she's trying to dismiss it, make light of it, of the fact that it's up. And in fact, as soon as they started talking about it, and they talked about, gold is up, the next thing they talked about, same segment, is they said, well, but, Bitcoin is up a lot more. I mean, had you bought Bitcoin, I don't know, 10 years ago, you'd have much more money than if you bought gold. So it really is insignificant because gold is not even caught up to Bitcoin yet. So they're trying to minimize the significance of the fact that gold is going up. And almost the only reason they're talking about it is to dismiss it and to laugh at it and say, hey, look at all these fools buying gold, right? They're just chasing this market, right? It's just going up for no reason. Like, because why does a meme coin, why does fart coin, go up? Because people buy it. I mean, that's the only reason. Why do they buy it? Because they think some other idiot is going to buy it. They don't care how much fart coin stinks, right? They're just buying it, right? And but gold is being bought for real, serious reasons by serious people who are, moving real money, right? Not the money, the money that's going into these meme coins. This is gambling money. There are people that are buying $5 or $10 worth of fart coin. I mean, there is serious money. There is millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars moving into the gold market. And what is it moving out of? Because that's also significant. It's not just that people are buying gold. What are they selling to get the money? Well, they're selling their dollars. They're selling their treasuries. But gold stocks had another good week, although not nearly as good a week as they should have. Gold was up 2.7%. The GDX was only up 2.4%. Should have been up a lot more. Now, the GDXJ, which has some of the smaller ones, not small in an absolute sense, but just smaller than the biggest ones, was up 4.7%. But listen to these year-to-date returns for those indexes. The GDX is up 51% this year. 51%. The GDXJ is up 43%. Now, I'm telling you, I'm watching the CNBC, and they're talking about, hey, what should investors buy? I've been watching it, for last few weeks very, intently, and nobody comes on the show. I mean, maybe a rare occasion, somebody on Fast Money, but throughout the day, during the day, and all these shows, and they have analyst after analyst coming on, and like, what should people buy? What should people buy? Buy Meta, buy Netflix, buy Nvidia. Nobody has come on that show and picked any of these gold stocks that are in this index, even though that a lot of them are hitting 52-week highs. The only ones that haven't right now are Newmont and Barrick, but all the other stocks have made new highs on the year, and they're way up. And they're not even talking about these stocks. And so they're just going to keep on rising. That's why I've been telling people, and I got the special report. If you haven't downloaded it, go to eatyourpack.com and get my special report, the best way to buy gold, which is to buy gold that's still in the ground. How do you do that? You buy the gold mining stocks. Because again, the gold mining stocks are not priced for $3,300 gold. They're not even priced for $2,300 gold. The whole rally, nobody believed in gold. So nobody wanted to buy the gold stocks because gold stocks are the present value of what you expect the company to earn. And if you expect the gold price to collapse in the future, then you're not going to pay up for a gold stock. Well, all these investors have been wrong in their expectation that gold would fall. The whole time it kept rallying, everybody waited for it to drop because maybe like these CNBC anchors, they didn't know the difference between gold and a meme coin. So they just figured, well, it's a bubble. It's just going to collapse. So let's not buy these gold stocks because, they're just mining a bubble. So at some point, the naysayers in the investment world, they're going to throw in the towel on their negativity, and they're going to have to come to the conclusion that gold's not going back down to 1,500. And that even if it goes down to 2,500, who cares? Because these stocks are very cheap with $2,500 gold, especially with $63, $64 oil. And especially where the dollar is against the Canadian dollar or the Australian dollar, because that's where gold is mined. The dollar went way down against the euro and the yen and the Swiss franc, but that's not where the gold mines are. That's not where the miners are getting paid. They're getting paid Aussie dollars. They're getting paid Canadian dollars. Those currencies have actually gone down since Independence Day or Liberation Day. So gold companies are going to earn a fortune. And that's why I'm just telling people, keep buying them, even though they've gone up a lot. And of course, I was telling people to buy them pretty heavy last year. And so, it's 50% higher. You'd have been better off buying them last year. But if you didn't buy them last year, even though they're up 50% this year, they're still cheap. In fact, you can argue that gold mining companies